Hello students, and welcome back to your daily dose of language arts. This is vocabulary, and we are finally there to the review and the assessment of Unit 3. As you can see, Mr. Potato Head is here today, dressed up like an elephant, and that is because this is the week of Halloween. So he decided to dress up early. So Mr. Potato Head's dressed up like an elephant today. Make sure that when you finish your review and your assessment, you send Mrs. Harden, that's who you'll be sending your K-mail to, you'll send Mrs. Harden a message saying, I finished my assessment and Mr. Potato Head was dressed up in his Halloween costume as an elephant. Okay, and then you'll be put in for the drawing, which will take place in December. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. First of all, for today's review, you will look at pages 27 through 34 in your workbook. That's where you're going to find your review. And then you will do the assignment on page 37. So page 37 in your workbook. And there is an exercise 1 and 2. So you'll find two different exercises. And again, this is your review for all of the lessons that you learned from lessons 5 and 6 in Unit 3. When you finish your review, you will have your learning coach correct it. So you don't put anything on the online school for the review. Your learning coach will correct it. They can go in and find their the answer key, and then they will check it. Then you'll be ready to do the assessment. The assessment, there are a couple different things that you'll need to do on your assessment. One thing that you're going to need to do is choose the word that best completes the sentence. So that would be a fill in the blank. Next, you will select the best answer to each question. So those will be multiple choice. And then the last one, you will select the pair of words that has the same kind of relationship as the numbered pair. That's how the directions are read. So that is when you're dealing with this, and you've done this on your other ones. You have blanks. So let me see, I have to turn this way so I point at the right thing. Blank, and then the semicolon is to. So blank is to blank as blank is to blank. So the two words here, as you can see, I have an arrow down here. You're asking yourself, what do they have in common? What do these two words, and I know they're blank right now, but I'm going to put up some words in a minute. You're asking yourself, what would these two have in common? Once you figure out what they have in common, you are going to think to yourself, well, this blank has to relate to this first blank, and the second blank has to relate to the second blank on this side. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at an example together. And this is actually off of your review. So, and you're going to see micros is to macros. And do you remember I said first you find out what these two have in common before you figure out the second pairs and how they're related. So micros is to macros. Do you know what that means? Do you know how they're related? Micros is, and let me make sure I read this correctly, micros is the Greek root word for small, and then macros is the Greek root word for large. So we have small is to large. Small is to large as big is to little. That does not work because remember, the first word, macros, has to relate to the first word down here. And micros means small. So maybe if little was right here, it would work. And if big was on this side, because macros does relate to big, but they have to be on the same side of the semicolon. So macros is to micros is to macros as, let's see if this one works. Microcosm is to macrocosm. Now micros is the root word for microcosm, and macros is the root word for macrocosm. So that is a relationship. You can see the relationship there. The first word on this side of the semicolon is related to the first word on this side of the semicolon. Macros, which is on the second part of the semicolon, is related to macrocosm on this second side. So, and then this one means the universe, the great whole universe. And then this one over here means a miniature world, something that resembles something else. And really, I think that the relationship is more that these are the root words of these two words down here. So your answer would be not big and little on this one, but microcosm and macrocosm. So you're looking at the relationship between the words and how they are similar. So there's one of your answers on your review. You'll see that on number 1. All right, and then you're also going to see that again when you go in and take your assessment. You'll have to show the relationship. So good luck with your review. Good luck with your assessment. And I really hope you have a marvelous week. And so does Mr. Potato Head, right? Okay, have a good one. Thank you so much.